Hey man, who does not love James Winston? If you don't love James Winston, man, you just hate God at that point, man. That's all I gotta say. This guy, man. There's
Funny.
not a bone in him that you cannot like him. It's just funny some of the stuff he comes out with. I love the guy. I think that this is a good plan because the Giants now can use him as a veteran quarterback, get him, and that gives you to develop that young quarterback, which they most likely will draft. So I love the move, and I love James Winston. And if you don't, like I said, you hate God.
And welcome back to another episode of your favorite Couch Potatoes. I'm your host, Jay Cubs, joined by Philly Simon. Feisty making his return with his NASA-certified Wi-Fi, finally. And we're the dudes that never sniffed anywhere close to professional sports, and we're going to tell you all you need to know about it. So let's get into it. All right, let's debut a brand new segment, Quick Hits. And this will be good, especially for me, because we all know I can start to ramble on, especially when we're talking about the Patriots. We all know that, which... Don't worry, we'll get into that later. But let's go in. Quick hits. First time. Okay, we talked about it last time. Xavier Worthy arrested with assault against a family member, but he is not being charged. So I don't know if that means the family member just kind of dropped it, but looks like he's going to be able to avoid time or penalty, whatever.
Hey man, when didn't we have this last year? Where it was like over the summer when we started this pod, everybody was either getting charged with something or even. So it's good to see that he's not gonna be in trouble, honestly. But at the same time, it starts to wonder, did he pay him off? That's what we always go to. So good news for all around for sure.
Yeah, Chiefs culture. I mean, Andy's always he's always taking it. I mean, you saw what do they have, like 18 and 20 incidents of players violating league policy and something, and Eagles 0. Y'all saw that. Y'all saw 0. We're the only one with 0.
That's the fans. Fans do enough for you guys, so the players can
right.
keep it
Yeah,
clean.
don't we? No, I mean, whatever, man.
Yeah.
I'm not overly concerned with it. He did.
Right,
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Let's move in. We're gonna make this the free agency special. We're a couple weeks out from I think when it started, and we're just gonna recap everything. We'll go team by team. We're gonna keep these quick for the start. Let's start with the Panthers. So they made J.C. Horn the highest paid defensive back in NFL history, 4-year, $100 million deal with $70 million guaranteed. And another big signing. Feisty's running back for the Cowboys, Rico Dowdle, signed a 1-year, $6.25 million deal with the Panthers. What do you guys think of their moves so far?
I mean, the Panthers, the biggest thing that was going well for them, besides towards the end of the season, was their defense. I feel like, and he was a big contributor to that. So it's not surprising for me. I mean, I think the price tag is a little bit much, but maybe they're trying to lock him down for a little bit longer while they're trying to figure out what to do. That whole Panthers franchise is just dog shit. So, and then Rico, hey, it is what it is. We're just going along with it, man. So good for him to secure that bag for at least 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, the Horn signing. I mean, you're going to pay what you pay for these, these elite D backs. It is what it is, and they need them. It's a good signing. I mean, I don't know, all about their finances. I don't know if this overextends them, or I didn't know how much cap room they had. I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, Dowdle's been a good player for a long time, and yeah, hey man, Panthers play some defense this year, and they'll be right in the mix, man.
Yeah, Bryce Young started looking a lot better towards the end of the year. They might have something in a very gettable division. I don't know, maybe the Bucks are the cream of the crop or whatever, but the rest of the division's pretty shit. So, all right, let's move on to the Chargers. They had a couple of signings, so they brought back Khalil Mack on a 1-year, $18 million deal. So they definitely got to pay him. He's definitely getting up there, but still productive on the end. And then they also stole Wesley's boy, Najee Harris. Signed a 1-year, $9.5 million deal with them. So become their lead back. I don't know if, was it J.K. Dobbins was their number one last year. I don't know if they re-signed him or anything, but decent signings. That's a lot of money for Khalil Mack, though.
Yeah, I knew that he wasn't ready to retire. There was stuff that came out saying he wasn't ready to go one more year. I thought he would have went to a championship team. No offense to the Chargers, my boy Herbert is there, and so. But I just don't know if they're gonna be that team to push him to that. I think he probably has 1 or 2 more years left, if that. And so, but that's a huge price tag. And then Najee, bro, good for him to get out of the Steelers world. I think he kind of needs to reset, and I think it's kind of weird. Maybe they're just not planning to sign J.K. Dobbins, but I think this is a good freaking fit. I think him and Herbert will do the whole. He likes to be a receiving back a lot, and so I think this is actually a really good fit.
Yeah, I mean the 9.5 million. Boy, this price of these running backs starting to go up. Price of
Thank you,
everybody's.
Saquon.
Yeah, I know, right? Price of everybody. Man, 9.5 million for Najee.
Yeah.
I mean he's a good back, but my God, for a 1-year deal. Khalil Mack, that's an old man right there. But I mean they were talking about him going to a contender, but
Yeah.
I guess he followed the money. Whatever. I think these guys want the money as much as they want to win. I'm not lying, man. I think we always say they want to go win, they want to go win. If you put millions of dollars in front of somebody, we have seen time and time again, they follow the money, man. Nobody takes friendly deals and all. They're going for the money. Get out of here.
We'll get into that a little bit later with one of your boys, but I can't wait. But let's stick in the quick hits. Let's go to the Saints. Hunter Saints. Yeah, they're still kind of the same. They re-signed Chase Young to a 3-year, $51 million deal. And then they traded for David Godchow, former Patriots defensive tackle, not going to fit in Mike Vrabel's scheme. He's kind of a smaller guy for a D tackle, 7th-round pick. So at least we got something instead of cutting him. They signed Justin Reed, safety, to a 3-year, $31.5 million deal. And then they got back the old man, Brandon Cooks, is returning to the team that drafted him. I texted Hunter about this, and I can't remember what he said. I'll have to look it up while you guys share your thoughts. But he might be able to take the top off a little bit, but if you don't have a quarterback that can throw it that far, I don't know how much that matters.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in Chase Young, to be honest with you. I love him. He's a good player. I think he's from Ohio State, right? If I'm not wrong. Yeah, He is a freaking talented defensive end. Good for them to sign him. And then also it seems like the trend for them is defense, defense, defense. Our offense sucks. So just typical Saints things. We always give Hunter, Mr. Talbot, a hard time. But right side, you got Brandon Cooks. Let's go. Another great franchise that still doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, the trend, man.
What was the Cook signing for, Kyle? I don't see it on the list here.
I'll look it up. I didn't see it when I saw the report. It just said he was returning, but Hunter did say he's just like, what, is he 45 now? So yeah. And then I'm looking here on the NFL free agency. It just says a 2-year deal with the team. It doesn't even have his finances on there. So I imagine nothing crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the Giants. Only one big signing, and it was a guy that Simon, you talked about that would be perfect for the Saints. He'd give them a better chance to win. He'd be more fun for sure. We all love him. Everybody's favorite quarterback that isn't on your team, Jameis Winston, signs with the New York Football Giants on a 2-year, $16 million deal. So enough to go in there, compete for the starting job. We still have to see with the draft coming up. You'd think they might go for a quarterback. We'll have to see what goes on there. And this was one of the teams that Mr. Aaron Rodgers was being rumored to go to. And I don't know. He still could go there for sure. But I don't know. That Jameis thing, you might give him a chance. I saw something like for fantasy, you definitely want to draft Malik Neighbors now. He's going to have, I think it was like 100 receptions, 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns, and the Giants are going to finish 4-13.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick info on that one. I think it was saying on the Brandon Cooks, actually, I think it said it was $13 million, 2 years. So, which would be a big price tag on a old guy who may not have the quick step anymore. But, hey, man, who does not love James Winston? If you don't love James Winston, man, you just hate God at that point, man. That's all There's not a bone in him that you cannot like him. It's just funny some of the stuff he comes out with. I saw him on a show. You know that show where they like clap for the people in the hallway. He was on it, and he was like, anyway, he's hilarious, man. I love the guy. I think that this is a good plan because the Giants now can use him as a veteran quarterback, get him, and he's probably not going to do the greatest, even though we love him. But then that gives you to develop that young quarterback, which they most likely will draft. So I love the move, and I love James Winston. And if you don't, like I said, you hate God. So
I predict, let me see. I got 30 touchdowns, 32 interceptions. That's what I got.
He's going to do it again.
Yeah.
Become the second guy.
What are you going to do, man? So, so I love the signing. Actually, this guy can win some football games for them. This team is going nowhere, man. We all know it. Their division is unbelievably difficult. You get, a quarterback that, will sling the ball around. People like to go watch that brand of football. Might put some people in the seats, and let's go, man. I mean, we're going to beat them twice. I'm excited about that. I'm not worried about it, but
easy done.
we'll probably kill him, dude. Probably going to kill the guy, but I like him. I like the move.
All right. Let's move to the Jaguars, go down south. So they just had a couple of things. They initially released Christian Kirk, but then ended up doing an in-division trade, very rare, to the Texans for a 7th-round pick. So the Texans wanted to go out and get him, and I think he could be, good third guy. You got Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Hopefully you'll be able to recover. Christian Kirk as a third option will be awesome. And then they released longtime tight end Evan Ingram. So that's what the Jaguars are up to.
What the frick? Don't the Texans also have Mr. Steal Your Girlfriend? What's his name from the Bills?
Stephon Diggs? No. He is. I think he signed on a 1-year deal. He's currently a free agent.
Oh, well, that makes more sense of why they. Sorry, I wasn't aware of that. I was gonna say, dude, they're just racking up receivers so that he can throw it to whoever he wants. But I think that this is just again, weird trade when you're doing in division trades. I talked about the Eagles having that blessing from the Giants because they're a dumb franchise, and look where they are. And now Christian Kirk, he's not a top 10 receiver, but he's a top 15, top 20 receiver, right? And so this just gives Texans another weapon. So I love this move for the Texans, not so much for the Jags. I don't know what they got planned for Trevor Lawrence, who he's going to be throwing the ball to, and then you release the big tight end too, like. Jaguars, man, they're definitely in the down slope as they always were. I think they had a couple good success 2 years ago, and since then they've just been stock plummeting, man.
Yeah, I mean, Jags are bad.
But they're some stake. The Jags are bad.
But Texans they're getting better. I mean,
they need an O-line, man. That was their problem last year.
Fies, how's it feel for your team to be the third best team in Texas, man?
He even said, what did you say last year? Third best team and second best team in Dallas or something.
Yeah, he's third best. Yeah, he's third best. It goes Texans, Dallas, and then it freaking goes. No, Texans, the Longhorns, and then Dallas. That's how it goes right now.
I don't even know if we're even the third best. Come on.
Throw the Aggies in there, maybe.
That's right.
You got the Longhorns. You got the freaking Texas Rangers. You got so many other franchises. We're probably like top 7, baby.
Hey, if Texas Tech played the Cowboys, who wins?
Yo, who you got on quarterback, bro? Who do you got on quarterback? And if it's Zeke in the back, Texas Tech all day.
All right. We'll get into the Cowboys, but let's stick with the Texans, the best team in Dallas for sure. They had a couple of big signings. So J.C. Horn was the highest paid cornerback for a couple days. Then it became Derek Stingley Jr. I believe he was first team All-Pro last year. 3-year, $90 million deal with 89 of it guaranteed. So just as close to our boy Deshaun Watson with those guarantees, man. I was surprised to see that number. So now he's the highest paid defensive back in NFL history. And then they also extended Danielle Hunter to a 1-year, $35.6 million deal, which makes him now the second highest paid DN.
I mean, I don't know what else to say except the best team in Texas, man. They just know what they're doing. That's a big price tag for a cornerback, obviously, but I still think that they are going all in on for it. I think that they'll probably end up picking up a couple old lines that you were talking about from the draft. But overall, their defense is stacking up. Their offense is stacking up. They just need some protection for CJ Stroud. But I love it, man. I was never a big Texas fan or Houston fan, but the more and more Dallas sucks, the more I'm like, hey, this team's not bad. They're actually really, really good, and they're showing why they can compete, and they're the best team in Texas. So I love these moves. I think that they are trying to push and continue to use that young core that they have, so they actually have a chance at winning something for a freaking Texas team.
No, agree.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the Broncos. So they were the ones that picked up Evan Ingram on a 2-year deal. I'll have to look up the price tag, but that is an awesome weapon for Bo Nix. I think they're going to be able to eat in the middle of the field with Evan Ingram. And then they also got a couple of defensive guys from the Niners who are having a fire sale right now, which we'll get into. But they got Dre Greenlaw and Talona Hafunga from the 49ers. So beefing up that defense and giving Bo Nix a bona fide weapon, I think that'll be a good pairing.
I mean, I think that if you would look up the stats on Bo Nix, the amount of times he threw to his tight end and his running back is insane, man. So, and he's always been a big tight end guy. When he was out with Oregon, him and Terrence Ferguson, on freaking match chemistry, dude. So I love this move for the Broncos. I love it for Bo Nix. I think he had a great season. If it wasn't for Jane Daniels, he's rookie of the year, like hands down rookie of the year. So I think he's going to continue to develop well. I said it from the beginning. Give him some time and he'll develop. And now you give him a big weapon like Ingram, who just he can just throw it up there and he'll go get it for him. I love it. And then nobody cares about the defense. So
No, I'm good. I don't care about the Broncos either.
They already had a crazy defense too, so I think they're gonna be ready to compete. But yeah, so like I said, the 49ers are having a fire sale. They've lost even more players, I think, and they will get into who they traded away and stuff here in a little bit. But I figured out why. They're making room for former Patriots quarterback, Mac Jones on a 2-year deal. That's, I guess, they got to find a way to get Mac Jones in there and pay him enough money. No, just kidding. It's clearly for Brock Purdy. They're preparing for Brock Purdy's contract. It's going to be interesting to see. Heard some people talk about it. I wonder what you guys think, but is he a high 40s guy or is he going to get $50 million a year? What do you guys think?
yeah, I am not. I'm still not convinced that Brock Purdy's worth that. I'm not gonna lie. Even though we joked around about how Brock Purdy ain't good, I'm just not convinced, man. I think that he's probably gonna be either a high 40s or mid 40s because that I get that he's young and you want to take advantage of that, but I still just don't think it's quite him. So I don't know.
So
Mac
Brock
Jones
Purdy is
not good still.
not good.
I mean, I think he's decent. I mean, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, the 49ers are now going to have to learn what it's like to have to pay a quarterback all this money and see if you can keep the team together. Good luck, man. So we'll see. They had that guy on his freaking rookie deal. They had their shot. They didn't capitalize on their shot. So we're going to see what happens right now, man.
Yeah, they, like I said, they're getting rid of a lot of people, and I did see somebody that I thought they were going to get rid of, but I guess they re-signed Kyle Juszczyk, re-signed on a 2-year, $8 million deal, and then they got Demarcus Robinson from the Rams for a 2-year deal, $9.5 million. So you got some people. It's not enough. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a rebuilding year for the Niners for sure.
Well, that's what that's what teams have to do if they want to stay relevant. And extend that window, you have to plug and play veterans. You got to sign veterans on $4 million deals, $5 million deals. And that's where the front office, comes in huge. They can evaluate talent and get people in there that they need to get in there. They also need to learn how to manipulate the cap, have enough cap space to sign these guys. So, like I said, we're going to see what the 49ers are made of in the next couple of years once they start paying the quarterback a premium. I hate them. I hope they do horrible. I can't stand that team, man. I can't stand
I think they will. Do you guys think so? I know you don't think he's worth $50 million. Feist, do you think he would get $50 million, or you think it's going to be somewhere like 45, 48?
I think that people may think he's worth 50 million, but I think he probably ends up being in the 45, 40, probably 47 range. I wouldn't even go high as 48, 49, just because I just feel like he still has so much to prove. I think he's had great years, but I'm not. He's just been having. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I say this over and over again. He has weapons around him to make him successful, and his job is easy. And I hate the 49ers, Simon. If you know anything about
Yeah.
me, I hate the Eagles and I hate the 49ers. So,
Yeah,
like,
I
for
get it.
me, I
I get
hope they
it.
do terrible, but his money is due. But like Simon said, how are you going to be able to pay that guy 50 million a year when you still have quite a people on the defense and offense that you need to get done taken
Well,
care of? So
yeah, I mean, in my opinion, you're going to have to. So to get him to take less money, obviously, you're going to have to give him. You're just going to have to give him signing bonus. I mean, you're going to have to give him a ton of money up front.
yeah,
And then, in addition, you structure the contract. If you think your window is now still, you structure the contract for him to be taking less now and more later. Okay. If you extend the amount of time on the deal, you can probably get him to take less money. But if you only do like a 3-year deal, he may be a $50 million quarterback. But if you sign him for 4 or 5 years, a lot of guaranteed money, then you can get the cost down. Okay, that's what I think the Eagles are going to have to do when they restructure Jalen's deal. And Jalen's going to be up, I think, next year anyway. So we'll see.
and that's my thing is like I just feel like unless you're that it guy, like you're Josh Allen, you're Lamar Jackson, you're um just these high
Say it.
players.
Say it.
Okay,
Say it. Say it.
Mr. Hurts, like
Say it.
guy,
Say it.
these
Thank
guys,
you.
I love Jalen Hurts. I actually thought he was gonna
Thank
when
you.
the whole rivalry of him and Dak started. I thought Jalen Hurts was gonna be the guy, right? Like I just had a feeling about him. I love the mobile quarterbacks that you know that about me, Jacobs. And so for me, I just feel like if unless you're that guy, give him a 3-year deal. Like give him a 2 to 3 year deal, test him out still, and then in a couple years, if they're your franchise guy still, bro, pay that guy. Why would you not want to keep him? He's coming into his prime at that point, but you give these guys a 5-year deal and they're not doing so well. They've had great seasons, and then afterwards they're not doing so well. Then you're stuck with them.
Yeah.
So for me, it just doesn't make sense, and I think that that's how I would run a franchise. Is unless you're that so solidified freaking bone superstar, I'm giving you 2 to 3 years every year and figuring out how to make it work, right? So
Well, Fies, what the hell would you know about signing a quarterback for way too much money for way too
I was
long?
gonna say he has an argument. He's made an NFC championship, and someone in his own conference makes $60 million. So you can put that down on the negotiating table. Hey, this guy's made $60 million and not winning any playoff games.
like
Worst
no,
contract
no, dude.
ever.
Like you got him for three. You got him for 3 years before that, and he went to first round exit, and then I think he's had 3 first round exits, right? And so like
All right. Hey. I should have known. We shouldn't have put the Niners in the quick hit segment with you Niners haters. That one's on me,
Bro, this just proves you need to change the format into an Eagles Dallas New England freaking pod, dude. I mean, come on, man. You know where we're going.
I know. I can see you itching to it, but let's get the quick hits. All right, okay. One of the guys they got rid of, Deebo Samuel, traded for a 5th-round pick to the Commanders. I don't know that that's going to be really a big deal. I think Deebo's kind of old and kind of done. He had a down year last year for sure. They also signed Bobby Wagner back on a 1-year deal. They released Jonathan Allen, and he signed a 3-year, $60 million deal with the Vikings. They also they got Larry Tunsil from the Texans. So talk about the team that needed no line. Well, they traded one of them away to the Commanders, said multiple draft picks. And then I'm sad to hear, like you said, Patriots podcast, couple of our former guys, longtime guys, Jonathan Jones, Dietrich Wise, they signed 1-year deals with the Commanders. So not going to be great guys, but they're going to help that defense for sure. They're loading up, man. Commanders are ready to make a run. They were this close. I mean, once it got to the NFC Championship, it wasn't close at all. But yeah, what do you guys think about these moves?
Here's the one part where I'm like, this is a solidified guy, Jane Daniels. That's the kind of guy that I would be like, okay, towards his end of his rookie season, if he's balled out and he's still doing really well, give him a big contract. But like, I love the Debo thing because now it gives him another deep threat or even just a quick slot guy to be able to play for him. And now Jane Daniels he's gonna have even a better season this year, dude. Like I would not be surprised if he is not in the running, even if the freaking Commanders suck. I wouldn't be surprised that he's gonna be in the running for the.
Welcome, Sean.
Whoa!
Technical
Hello,
difficulties
friends.
got your boy today, huh?
But yeah,
I was
wouldn't
down
be
and dirty.
surprised.
Sorry.
We're just talking about the Commanders right now. Feisa's giving his shitty feisty take or something. I don't know. We don't know sometimes, but no. Go ahead, Feist.
Nah, that's all. I just think that the Commanders are ready to move up on Jay Daniels and take advantage of the weapon he is. So that's the only thing that really matters in that whole trade. I mean, come on now. The other guys are just old freaking guys collecting checks, like Simon said earlier.
Hey, man, they got to. I mean, the Washington team's a good team, man. I'm not playing, man. They're going to be real good this year. I know they're going to be good this year. I think Debo is a bigger deal than you might give him credit for, Kyle, just because, I mean, I'd have taken him as my number, whatever, 3 or whatever.
2 or 3, yeah, you got Scary Terry there.
I would. I think he's good enough to do that. Maybe he'll like it over there. Maybe he'll have a bounce back year. I don't know. But, I mean, yeah, I'm scared of Washington. I'm not going to lie.
She's scared of Dallas.
Oh, there's Feisty's take. Yep, there we go.
What
do you think, Sean?
Let me redo that again. You should be scared of Dallas.
I think Debo had a down year last year for sure. It was
He's on your fantasy team, right?
Yeah,
all year.
He kind of let me down. Kind of sat on my bench, but no, I think he did have a pretty bad year. But that entire season was plagued for San Francisco, so it's really hard to say if that was a him thing or just their team totally being disconnected. So I think for sure it's going to make Washington better, though. So they're going to be scary. They already went deep, First year with Jaden
Dane Daniels.
Sorry, yeah. One of those guys. But yeah, they're going to be good.
They also re-signed your boy Marcus Mariota, Feist, 1 year, $8 million deal to be their backup. And then bringing in a lot of receivers. They re-signed Noah Brown. They got Michael Gallup and then KJ Osborne. So some bunch of number 3 receivers right there. Re-signed Zach Ertz to a 1 year, $6.25 million deal. And yeah, like I said, traded for the O-lineman. They got 2 offensive tackles, a guard, center. So they're ready to beef up. Their run is now, like you said, Simon. This is when you got to make that run. You got Jaden Daniels on that rookie contract. Whew.
Yeah.
When he's up, man, you're going to see probably, I would guess, 70s, man, with the
Hey, hold on. Let's see what his second year looks like. All right. Let's see what it looks like, man. There could be some regression.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's just see what the second year. You got to give him 1 more year before you're crowning him. All right.
See if the sophomore slump happens or not. All right, let's go to the Falcons. Only thing I really saw to note is that Kirk Cousins is still on the team. Wild. He met with ownership and asked to be traded to a team where he could start, but they're playing that they're going to keep him. I don't know if it's really going to be true. They say that's what they're going to do. I know they needed to cut him before, I think, March 10th to save $10.5 million, and they didn't. So they're sticking with Kirk Cousins.
Kirko Chains, baby. This was a terrible mistake from the start. The Falcons just always screw themselves. I thought he was actually going to be traded to the Steelers. I thought that would be actually a good fit for him, just because he still got some kind of ump in him, and that's what the Steelers do, is get these older guys. And so, not surprised. They're still trying to figure out that they're the Falcons and they will always suck. So,
well, if you take his contract, what are you on the hook for? Was he $40 million a year?
Yeah,
probably for 3. Did he sign
3 more years? He
for
had 4 years.
3 years. So that is why the Steelers didn't. You know what I mean? You don't want. That's
they could do like a Russell Wilson thing, where you know how Russell Wilson signed for like the vet min with the Steelers, but the Broncos had to pay him.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they do something like that. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's. Ooh. Yeah.
All right, let's move to the Raiders. They're making some moves, and the first move they made was trading for Geno Smith, 3rd-round pick for Geno Smith. So definitely wanted a quarterback, reunites with Pete Carroll, wanted that kind of system. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I think they're going to try to compete. It's going to be hard in that division. Every other team is good. I don't know how good they'll do, but they'll definitely be good with this guy. Keeping him in Las Vegas, Max Crosby signed him to a 3-year, $106.5 million deal that made him the highest paid non-QB in NFL history for a few days. And we'll get into that later. But, yeah, what do you guys think of these moves?
I'm confused about this because Geno Smith, like I thought they were trying to go after Shador Sanders. So I'm kind of confused. Maybe that's why, and they want Shador to sit down 1 year and learn from Geno because they're kind of the same play style, like deep ball, very mobile quarterback, both black. I don't know what else you want me to say, but just kidding. But like realistically, I was confused about it. And Max is a good player. That would have been a big loss for their defense. So,
But is he worth that much? Whew. That's a big contract. I mean, he's great, but wow. They paid the man.
Vegas.
Yeah. They got that
I'll
gambling
tell
money.
you, now these contracts, I mean, they're just going up and up and up. Players or teams are loading up on stars, and then, I mean, I guess paying other people less money. I mean, there's only so much money to go around. You know, I mean, he's a stud. You know.
Yeah, and what does he play? I think he plays 100% of the snaps. Like he never comes
he's a
off the
stud,
field.
man.
He's a
Motor's
yeah.
always on. Yeah.
Total
And like
dog.
I think the Raiders they did good with this because what we'll see is if you don't pay your guy first, you just are going to end up having to owe more money later on. Because what are you going to say? Are you going to say to guys like Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, "Oh, you're not as good as Max Crosby"? No, they're not going to sign that. So you're just going to have to pay him more money. So Raiders got on it, and then speaking of Myles Garrett, the new highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, 4-year, $160 million extension with $123.5 million guaranteed. This comes after requesting a trade in February, saying he never wanted to play for the Browns again, wanted to go to a contender, and just like Symes said not too long ago, money talks, changes his mind real quick.
Yeah, I mean, like this one should just be you because you've already said it. Once you put those millions of dollars in front of somebody, changes their mind on anything. So I'm very shocked, but also not surprised by this because he was talking about how he wants to win, he wants to go to a team, blah blah blah, and then you put those millions of dollars in front of him. He's like, ha, psych! I'm good where I'm at. Actually, I love Cleveland. Cleveland is my city. So.
They could have got 3 first-round picks for this guy. I have no idea what the Browns are thinking. There's no such thing as a difference maker on a shit team. They can't make a difference. There's no difference that you can make. It's a stupid move. They should have been building up for their future. Think about the draft capital that they would have. My God, dude. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. The Browns are the worst. I am so glad I am not a Browns fan. I am so glad.
I can't name one good decision they've made in maybe my whole life. Like it's been a long time. Oh my goodness.
Well, there's the Dallas being a Dallas fan, and then there's also Cleveland.
It's worse.
They did let Odell Beckham go after they ridiculously signed him too. So I guess that was a good move.
And they let Baker go because Odell's dad said he was bad at throwing them.
It's unbelievable, this organization.
It's just all bad.
Speaking of, in their worst decision they made, Deshaun Watson, of course, as we all know, the fully guaranteed deal, they are just trying to kick the can down the road as much as they can. I saw that they restructured his deal. They're still going to pay him, but I think they're just paying him later, and they opened up $36 million in cap space to pay Myles Garrett, I believe, because I think that happened before Myles Garrett. So Browns are going to be the Browns. That's what they'll always be.
They're going to re-sign Deshaun Watson after all this. He's still got it. He's
Not even
still
going to
got
play
it.
next year. Retore his Achilles. Man, you can't tell me there. He does not give a shit about football anymore.
No.
No, he just wants people to play with his butthole, dude. That's all he does. Man.
That's all it ever was.
All right.
It's all about the beehole.
Oh my gosh, we need to get you a sign or something right above your head now. I want to quote that. It's all about the beehole right over his side.
Holy
He's the worst, man. He is the
Oh,
worst.
He
He's
is.
the
I would
worst.
fucking hate it. I mean, they might draft a quarterback, and still gonna have to pay Deshaun for another 2-3 years. It's insane.
Insane.
Fully guaranteed deal. And they traded like a bunch of picks for him too. Like it's fucked up. But all right, let's move on to the Colts. So one of the guys from the Niners, they also lost. Javarius Ward signed a 3-year, $60 million deal, cornerback. And the big news, because it was mentioned, I believe at the combine, the GM of the Colts said there would be an open QB competition with Anthony Richardson. Who'd they bring in to compete? Well, Daniel Jones is going to the Colts on a 1-year, I think up to $14 million deal with incentives. Little fact before you guys get into it, or maybe I'll ask you a trivia question. Here we go. Can you name the 2 quarterbacks with the lowest QBR last season?
Daniel Dimes and Aaron Rodgers.
Got one of them.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, Rodgers had a good year. Come on.
Anthony Richardson had the lowest QBR last year. I think he had less than 50% completion percentage.
But didn't he only play? He didn't play that many games, right? How many games did he play?
He did this year. His first year was when he played like 4, and then he was out for the rest of the season. This year, he was in and out, but he played most of it.
Well, I think they
don't know if you remember.
Sometimes, right? They started.
Well, he benched himself, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
Tapped himself out of the game. But, yeah, Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson. Honestly, I see Daniel Jones going in there and winning that job, to be honest. Anthony Richardson, I think they're going to have to bite the bullet and just say we fucked up on this pick.
Yeah, I mean, either way, they both suck. So I don't think it matters what way you go with. Daniel Dimes was a overhyped freaking no good quarterback, and Anthony Richards, you would hope that he would turn things around, but nothing's going right there either. So you just kind of have to eat this one, just like Cleveland. They have to eat this one and move on from it. You have Joe Flacco that was doing really well, but then he started to kind of old age started to hit him. So either way, I think that you suck with both of them on your team. So.
I don't think that they have to give up on Anthony Richardson because he's 22 still. He's so young. I don't think that I think what they're thinking, this is their last effort, right? It's like put something that's going to make him want to play better on the team. And then if this doesn't work out, I mean, he's young enough. They might be able to do something with him still, I don't know. Hard to say.
Oof.
That's a tough place.
That's a tough take, God.
You think? You don't think you think it's over for him?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No
Unless
way.
he wants to start playing running back, I think he could be a great running back.
Hey, heyo.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know, man. I mean, right now, what he has shown, he's not even a backup quarterback. So he better improve enough to where, he has intangibles that he can stay in the league for a while. You know what I mean? To stay in the league for a while. But with that take you just made, if you hit on that one, dude, you're a stud, man.
We'll see. I mean, Daniel Jones, that's how much competition is it really? Jeez, man.
I'm just saying, why did they sign Daniel? I just think about it in my head. Why would they sign Daniel Jones if they had any faith in this guy? Do you know what I mean? That's just where I think about it. Daniel Jones, it's like a sinking. It's not even a ship; it's a plane. It's a plane. He's so bad. He's so bad.
Well, I guess we'll have to watch the Colts next season just for Sean's take. See if we can put him on freezing cold takes or something.
We'll see. Watch him play well this season.
All right, let's move to a good team. I'm excited to talk about these. The Buccaneers. They got a couple of good signings. They signed Hassan Reddick to a 1-year, $14 million deal. I'm interested to see your thoughts on that, Simon. I know he had that whole situation with the Jets after leaving the Philadelphia Eagles, but the big news for them, they re-signed Chris Godwin. This hit hard because the Patriots were strongly going after him. He signed for a 3-year, $66 million deal with $45 million guaranteed, and this is fresh off torn ACL, right? That's what his injury was last season, I believe. And it is reported that the Patriots offered him $20 more million to try and get him. So they tried everything. In the end, Godwin wanted to stay home. He's been in Tampa his whole career. He knows they're contenders. And, they keep him. What do you guys think about that signing?
I mean, I wouldn't want to go to the Patriots either, but they're still trying to figure out. Like, that's not even a shot at you guys. I just feel like you guys are still, like, figuring out a couple more years away from it. And I think he wants to stay with the Bucs because he knows Baker. He knows this team. They have a pretty good chance of making a deep playoff run if they would get their shit together. And I like Hassan Reddick. Like, we knew that drama was happening and all the money he was losing. I think, it's tough because now you get him to sign 1 year. He's going to keep doing these 1 year, $14 million, $10 million, $13 million deals. So he can, if it's not working there, he can end up going somewhere else. But overall, I think he's a good player and they just added a good weapon to their team. But the biggest thing is just Godwin staying home. And, we kind of all questioned where he would go. And I think this is a good pay and for a good player that wants to continue to be at home.
I mean, well, first of all, the sales tax in what is it, Massachusetts is
Massachusetts, they call it
6.25%, and Florida, you don't pay nothing, man. I mean, so automatically, Godwin's probably making at least $4 or $5 million more just by staying home. So that's a big deal right there. I can't imagine what Reddick. I couldn't imagine what the New York tax is, and you probably pay a city tax as well if you live in the 5 boroughs. You're probably paying state. You probably pay state and city. I'm imagining. So I bet he's benefiting as well. Both good signings. Reddick still has some in the tank, and obviously Godwin's a stud. Sorry, maybe emotional talking about that.
I'm the one that's supposed to be breaking down in tears, man. I mean, fuck. At least they tried. I like that, but yeah, I mean, like you said with the taxes, how that $20 million more, how much was he actually getting more? You know what I mean? So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But
he was number one fantasy. I think I've said it a couple times. He was number one fantasy receiver before he went down. He was on fire last year. I think he'll bounce back strong.
Baker was slinging that thing, man. That team was kind of working.
Where did he get drafted again? And the Cleveland Browns. Oh, that's right. Yeah. And Odell's dad. All right. That was our attempt, I think, at quick hits, man. We'll have to get better at it for sure, at least on some things, to reorganize things.